healer, an energy healer. She's very good at everything that she does. She's been in this movement for quite a long time, and I'm really interested in finding out a bit more about Kelly. She's a young lady, and she's done a lot over the years in this movement. So I'm looking forward to having a little chat with her. I'm so sorry that we haven't been on for a few weeks, but both my husband and myself had that dreaded COVID that's going around, and unfortunately we had it quite bad. So it wasn't good. It kind of floored us, and so I hope everybody else is all right out there and looking after themselves. I don't know for anyone who's had COVID or not if they've experienced like kind of long lasting effects, but we're pretty shattered, and kind of I feel like I've got a bit of brain fog as well. So it's it does come with a lot of traits, does this COVID? So if you do have it just now, please rest and look after yourself, and also remember you're not on your own with it as well. Okay, so I would like to bring on our Judith, so who has now arrived from her previous show, the Judith Miller Show. So hi, hello, my darling. How are you?
I'm good. It's nice to see you back.
Yeah.
Nice to see you back. I know you haven't been well, and we've been sending lots of prayers and lots of healing to you, and it's not nice.
Thank you.
It's very not nice, but be good to yourself, be kind.
That's true. That is so true. No, thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate all the spiritual healing from everyone. And I'm sure it's that's actually got me back to where I am now. So it's great to be back. I've missed the show a great deal, and I've missed our chats as well. Yeah. So you have now got your own show. So I know that's where you were just before you came on. So tell us just a little bit about that, so as people know, because you're going to be very busy on a Tuesday night.
I'm very busy now on a Tuesday night. All passion. I love what I do. So yes, I'm with AskRadio.com. I have my own show on at 7:30 with AskRadio.com. It's streamed to all the podcasts, the radio live streams, and Moonstruck TV and Air Psychic TV as well, right? So I'm still very much finding my feet. I know Spirit are very much they're trying to help me find something that I know I need to be doing, and I will find it, if that makes sense. But you know, I'm really it's challenging because I'm very much spiritual. I'm very much with the physical, and I'm used to kind of my dad, and it's very much finding what I can do on a radio in the way that I should be doing it, and I know that it's important because it's important we help people.
Absolutely.
And it's important that the show that I do like this helps people. So yes, the challenge, and I'll figure it all out. You know me, Alice. I'll take anything that's thrown at me, and I'll go, okay, let's do it. So,
yeah, you've got to be challenged in life as well, though, haven't you, Judith? You've got to be challenged in life, you know, because it's the only way that we go through the challenges of it, the fear of it, and we've got to go through that to move forward.
That's your essence, isn't it?
Yeah. Also, we will be, for anyone who's actually listening just now, we will also be doing our psychic mediumship and physical. We will be doing that at 9:30 tonight till 10:15. So anyone who wants to join, it will be on at 9:30 this evening. Okay. So I think we should bring in our lovely guest, Kelly Brickell. So
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, so I hope I am I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So let's welcome our lovely guest all the way from America.
Yes.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me
Kelly.
okay?
Yes.
Hi. Hi, Alex. Hi, Judith.
Hi, Kelly.
Thank you for having me. How are you doing today?
Well, we're fine. It's great to have you on the show, Kelly. Yeah. So I know you're doing a lot just now. I know you've got your own show as well. But let's just kind of take let's backtrack a little bit. Where and when did it all begin for you, Kelly, in your spiritual movement?
I would say, just going back, where I first started my spiritual development was when I was younger, when I was a teenager. And it really went back to a time where I felt ungrounded within my life. And I needed to understand what was happening with my body and my energy. So I was going through some health issues and also sleeping issues. And I was like, what is going on with my energy? I'm not able to do things the way that I'm intending to do things. Usually if I put my mind to something or my will to something, I could get it done. And I'm just like, what's going on? It's not exactly working. And I always had a relationship with like prayer and God. And I started praying a lot and meditating a lot. And I started to understand more about my situation through the deeper that I went. And I started to surrender and release and really look at myself on a different just wavelength. And that took a lot of trial and error because I didn't have a reference point. So with my spirituality, I had Catholicism or Christianity as kind of the just only guidance of what I thought spirituality could be. And of course, I was familiar with other religions and things like that. Of course, I was familiar with the way that people in different forms. But I didn't actually know about psychic mediumship until I started was on TV and reading books. Oh my gosh, these are things that are similar to what I'm experiencing. And then that helped me with coping and opening the door and doing more personal development. So that was my entryway.
Yeah. There is a little bit of a glitch in the system just now, but hopefully everybody can hear it all right. This happens a lot to us, Judith, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's spirit interfering.
Yeah. Just join in after.
Yeah, join in after. Yeah, but we need to get this lovely chat going. For yourself, I know you're a numerologist as well, and I think that's very interesting, numerology with the numbers. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yeah. So I came into numerology again by accident, just like this whole entire work by accident. It just kind of led me in that direction. And when I started to learn about energy and spirit and sensitivity and being able to tap into other people's energies, I was thinking, okay, well, there's astrology and numerology and runes and all these other cards that people use. Well, is that even real too? And I started looking around at things because I really had this personal quest for truth and understanding, well, what is real? Because psychic mediumship, well, isn't that available to everybody? And why isn't everybody doing that? And I was kind of like, what's going on? And when I started looking at that, numerology, it's a whole story in itself, but numerology was the modality that I found most easiest. And I started to have the most ahas with while I was developing my psychic mediumship and healing skills as well.
Yeah.
Numerology, you were touching on the astrology and numerology, and everything's so interlinked, isn't it? It's like numbers themselves. It's like giving yourself a tarot reading with numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. So numerology is a system of reading energy. So it's a perfect psychic modality, and it's whatever the individual is comfortable with finding patterns. And if you're finding a system that gives you accuracy through your understanding of your patterns. My goodness, you're well ahead of the pack with receiving and understanding energy, and you can use that in your life as a reader or understanding people in any situation. So yeah, I'm very passionate about numerology, and it became something that I would frequently utilize to understand energy. So yes, absolutely. So I became a numerologist as well, and I couldn't separate that. It just was something that was very passionate.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of numbers just now. In fact, I got 1818 before we come on
I've been getting that for weeks now. 1818. I actually got it before I came on to the show.
That was the same tonight. I got it before I came on the show. 1818. Yeah.
Well, that's a 9.
What does that mean, Kelly? What does 1818 mean?
Sure. So, like in numerology, you look at the sum total of the vibration. So 1818 is a 9 vibration. It's 9 plus 9. If you want to just add it up really quickly, that's 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. And then you see the sequencing of the repeating 1s and 8s. So you look at the 9 first. And 9 is all about completion, spiritual evolvement, to a point where everything is rising up to the surface to be ready to let go of. So you're saying, I did the work and I'm ready to release, and I'm going to play by new rules now. And I'm really surrendering to that. It's a different game that I'm preparing to play with who I am in this world. And then 1 is leadership, and 8 is work. It's how you apply yourself within the prize of what you put your mind to with the service of others. So you can be really regimented and actualized. So the 1 and the 8 with the 9 is basically, I'm taking personal responsibility as well as letting go, because I've done everything that I could up to this point. And I will continue to write it. I know that I'm not the same, and it's really up to me, and I'm taking charge of that. So that's how I interpret it.
Yeah.
Do you know, I can take that, and when you think about it, you talked when you first came on about how our health can be impacted by our spiritual paths. Sometimes we don't even realize. So we have the physical, the spiritual, and the mental planes. And I'm laughing as you say that, because I know Spirit has been pushing me in a direction, and I've been kind of procrastinating on it, to be honest. And I have got such a sore knee these last 2 days, and 1818, and I know it's because I'm not taking that path forward. And I was laughing at my partner. I was telling my partner today, I haven't done anything to my knee, but I know it's because I'm not taking that path forward yet. And 1818 just kind of confirmed that for me. And exactly what you said. Can you resonate that in a way?
It confirms it for me as well, because I've been the same. I've been procrastinating on things too. But I've kind of felt I should be doing more than I've been doing recently, but I've been finding it hard to do it because of my health. But I think Spirit are kind of telling me, come on, okay, you're okay now, so get on with it, get on with it. Do you know, Naomi, who has put a post up, I just thought I would share this with you, Kelly. 2222 has been with me all. Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can hear you. I can see Judith. Is Alice frozen?
Alice is frozen.
Oh no. Is she asking me to talk about Naomi's question yet?
While we're waiting for Alice to come back, so Naomi talks about 2222, and it is a common number. Can you talk more about that for Naomi, Kelly?
Sure. That's also an 8 vibration. So you're adding up all the 2s together. And when you have a master vibration, and this is a repeating number, so like 1818, as we talked about earlier, that's a sequencing. But when we have the same number repeated, that's a master vibration. So it actually holds a lot of power because it's a built up 2. So we look at the 2 and the 8 very in a serious fashion. And I hear feedback in the background too. So I hear Alice, I hear the feedback. So there must be another window open or tab open. But anyway, sorry, as I'm getting sidetracked. So the 8 vibration, it is about like what you bring to the table, right? So I talked about business and enterprise, and 8 is such a manifested number of what you're able to create in your life. And sometimes that is just the main channel is the career, sure.
Yeah.
But 8 is also the number of physicality. So it really deals with what energy, what physical energy do I have so I can create? How is my body? How am I understanding the things that I'm thinking and the actions that I'm taking? How do I really understand the whole metaphor as I reap what I sow? So it's taking responsibility for everything that you've done to create exactly what you are. And when somebody is seeing 22 constantly or all their life, it's really an invitation to build something bigger than yourself, and saying, okay, how do I have to plan? How do I have to ground this energy? What do I have to do next? What do I really have to line up and take seriously, and really get my ducks in a row, because I'm supposed to create something. Again, all these 2s are becoming very emotionally attuned with yourself so you can actually properly create. And the last thing I'll say, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so the fact that Naomi's saying it all the time, it's like alarm bells. Pay attention, pay attention.
Correct. Exactly. So you were on the psychic hit with that. And the reason why we see repeating numbers, or an exact type of repeating number like the 1111 or the 22, it's because it's basically saying that you are alert and ready to receive. It's basically saying you were able to look at the clock or catch the sign or symbol. That means that you're open and paying attention. That means you're in alignment, and we're just validating that for you. And as you're in alignment, here's the message. Here's the message that you really need to receive. So since you can receive it, here you go. And then you start going, what is that? I keep seeing that. What is that? And you start paying attention to your life. You start paying attention to going, there's something I really need to figure out. What is it? And you start becoming more accountable in your life. So it really is on a spiritual side, one thing, and it's also on how we're showing up within our life and actually being more present as well.
So there's sometimes, Kelly, sometimes we're able to notice the number patterns, and sometimes we don't notice them for some time. For example, I know anytime I do like meditation things or classes now, I always say to everybody, look back over your writing, because I realized after a very long time, every time I wrote the word it was always 17. Everywhere throughout my writing, 17, 17, 17. And that I've carried that with me right through 17. So I know that plays a big part, but I didn't notice that straight away. It took me a while before I noticed that.
I love that. You know, you were able to see that too, because a lot of people wouldn't even think I and a T could be 17, but that had a vibrational meaning for you. So you're like, there's something that resonates in this for me. And it's an 8 vibration. We're talking about 8 vibrations a lot. We're in an 8 year, right? 2024 is an 8 year. So it's no coincidence, but like the 17, so 1 and 7, they're very mental frequencies. And so for you just saying that, it's basically like hold strong, get your thoughts in a row. Like you might be a little spacey. It's time to ground everything. It's time to ground everything. You have all these wonderful ideas, but you're not necessarily knowing how to do something about it. And this is back in the day. And then we always, we're always learning, of course, too. But it was that's the feeling that I get with that little why you saw 17s everywhere. Okay, you got great ideas. Now do something about it. Okay, don't let that go. Keep that. Write that down. Be really, really concrete with it. Do something with it.
Plus, I was saying, Mandy, Mandy was saying that she sees 7 all the time, and 7 is quite a spiritual number as well on it, in itself, isn't it?
It is. It is. So, like in the number systems, there's different types of numerology. So, my definition of 7 might be maybe slightly different from another numerology's definition of 7. There's a lot of crossovers. There's more crossovers and similarities than not. But like 7, exactly, it's a very spiritual number. It's the number of the mind, the higher mind. It's the number of, on one hand, like logic, reason, analysis, being very introspective and thoughtful, and really building up that side of your energy. And then on the other hand, when spirituality is met, and that is really the highest manifestation of what the 7 can be, it's basically going, I'm going to use my genius and intelligence to serve others because I know that I'm not the only one I'm serving. I know that it's bigger than me. I know that my head is not my master, and my fantastical, if someone has a lot of 7s, they'll be very smart. They'll use their head a lot. They'll be very in their mind. They'll say, I can think through almost anything in life, but I know that, and I bow down to the fact that this is not the greatest force on earth, and there's something more intelligent than me. And so I'm in service of finding out how to listen to that. And in 7, you have to be very still in order to receive. So a lot of monks have 7, or again, these very spiritual teachers have 7 in their charts, but also mathematicians and scientists have 7 in their charts. So it can really go either way dramatically, and sometimes people will miss the boat with the spirituality, but when they integrate it, it's one of the most powerful spiritual numbers of them all.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing how, when we look at the bigger picture, that everything that we communicate, and we can communicate with the spirit world in so many ways, but numbers is such a collective way, that for them to connect with the whole of, the collective, and it mean exactly what each person needs, but it could be similar numbers. But as you say, what's going on in their life, what's happening, although it's given to the collective, we each have individual separations that we can take from those numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's universal themes with the numbers. So if you're a numerologist or learning about numerology, you're going to have to learn certain things. Just like if you are reading cards, you're going to have to learn a tarot deck. You're going to have to learn what the cups mean and the wands mean, the pentacles, all that. There is definition of, these are the laws of the energy. But when you start learning about the numbers, you start going, oh, this number feels like this and does like these things. And you can actually start to feel how that applies to the individual person too. So it's very much a science, but it's also an art as well. And I feel like people could understand that just from like the tarot view. Like there's a point where you don't like read what's in the deck book. There's a point where you can actually read a card quite unconventionally, even if you are a tarot master. So there's a lot you can do with numerology and get really comfortable with it. Absolutely.
Yeah. So would you incorporate that now in with your readings, Kelly? With your psychic mediumship, would you incorporate everything into like a reading if you were having clients coming to you, or do you just work with it separately?
I would say I'm really flexible with whatever comes up. My brain does it a little separately unless I go, oh, that's funny, it's coming in. You know what I mean? So a lot of times I mix numerology with psychic. I'll go, oh, let me like kind of look at a couple basic things about your energy, and it helps me open up the door to kind of like be more flexible. So a lot of times maybe I'll look at 1 or 2 numbers and then away I'll go psychically, and I won't even look at their chart after that. Other times I will be doing only numerology, but then psychic will come in, or maybe mediumship will come in. But as I start with them, I'm kind of a little bit focused more in one area more than the other. I know that a lot of people, I love it. I hear stories. They're like, oh, when I have a connection with spirit, I'll know things about people's life because they'll show me like a 7. I know that they're life path 7. I don't get that stuff. I really don't. I get how they feel, and I'll go, oh, this person has a lot of mental energy. They must have this in their chart. Like I'll go like that. Or they're making these choices. Let me guess, you have this in your chart, or you know what I mean? Like I'll know certain things, but I won't. They won't give me numbers at certain times unless I'm looking at the numbers. So my head is very, okay, we're using this now, and now we're using this.
So with the passion of the numerology, obviously you can do like a numerology charts and, different. Did you find that hard to start absorbing and learning, or was it just something that came to you very easily and when you started to kind of delve into that area?
I think it was a mixture. It was a mixture. Like, how can I put it? On one hand, I didn't really try to get into numerology other than it being an interest. So a lot of times I'd just be like, let me just try things. Let me just be curious, and I'll do my mom's chart or my dad's chart, or I'll do a president's chart or an actress's chart, something I can actually compare and go, yeah, that makes sense from my understanding of their public persona or the personal persona I know someone as. So I could see relationships with the energy and connections very easily. So I could go on to one number to the next, and it got me excited. But I would say it took me a lot of practicing to put it all together, because there's a lot of individual parts, and then you have to understand the holism. So it took a lot of practice for many years for me to go, I should take this more seriously. And now I can understand how everything goes together. So a lot of repetition and a lot of practice. Absolutely. So I can't say it was super easy, and I can't say it was super hard, because there are certain things that were very natural, and there's other things where I actually did. It's an encyclopedia to learn all those rules and understand it's a lot of time and built up knowledge. Yes.
Yeah. But is it kind of like, I know with mediumship and how we work with spirit, we always find our own niche. We always find our own rhythm and our own way. And is it a bit like that? You find what the way your path, your rhythm, the way you're drawn to it, to work with it?
Yeah, I would say so. I find that spirit led me into this work to work with mediumship and psychic, and throughout my entire time doing what I've been doing, I find that spirit has shown me that I have a lot of flexibility in understanding people psychically, like connecting to their aura, connecting to colors, visuals, and feelings. I can do that very easily and very naturally. That's something that does come just very, very like, okay, I don't have to worry because I know I'll get something. You know what I mean? Like I always know that it's just going to be there. And I feel like within numerology, it was like something that I took on that naturally blended with my psychic skills. And since I had been learning it for so long and I had so much interest, it just blended into my natural talents. So there's a part of me that actually rejected numerology because I was like, I don't like it. It's too confining. But I knew so much about it, and it was so much with me that it became a natural part of myself. So the most natural part of myself is the psychic part. It's just I'm really, really well acquainted with numerology, and then it just melded into itself.
Yeah, and it was obviously meant to be part of your path anyway, Kelly. So it was. So when did you get the passion and the drive to start your Spiral TV network?
Oh gosh, so I always
love people on there, don't you? You help a lot of people on there.
Oh yeah, that makes me really happy. Yeah, it's a really multifaceted answer. It comes from many different places. Why I love to do what I do and why I built the network. So when I was younger, I was very much into like talk radio. I love music, sure, but I would turn on the radio and I would like to listen to the people talk and share their stories, and talk shows that would have guest people on. And I was always just very intrigued by the multifacetedness of the human experience. So I'd listen to all types of things, and as long as there was a good host on and good guests, it didn't matter what the topic was, I would learn something. So that was something I always really responded to. And when I was going through a lot of my spiritual development and I was isolated and I was away from school, I listened to a lot of talk radio, even more so in Hay House Radio. And that was all spirituality, so even better right at certain points. And so it became really a lifelong passion when I was younger. I even went to radio camp, and I almost actually went into that niche at one time. I'm like, I really love doing this. Well, maybe I can go to school for radio broadcasting, right? So it was underdeveloped, but it was really utilized as a passion. And then I had finally, it was a perfect fit to be a part of another network that was WLTKDB about 2 years ago. I joined a digital radio show, and it was so fun, and it made me feel so at peace. And I saw all the people that were helped by it, not just from my show, but from other shows. People really got a lot out of it. And I've always it's such a long-winded answer. I'm so sorry, but there's so much passion in it.
No, it shows that it's the passion shows. It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, I could just go on and on.
Never apologize.
I appreciate it. But yeah, there's so many avenues. But basically, I want to normalize this work too, to showcase that it's just people, if someone's good at baseball, they go to baseball camp, or they share with people about like, hey, like, if you like baseball too, this is what I learned and let me help you grow. It's just like this. Sometimes we don't have enough resources with psychic mediumship for other people to feel like they're normal or to understand experiences. So with everything that I'm saying, it melded again, just like the psychic melded into the numerology. It melded into, this is just naturally a route in my life where I can give back. I allow people to use their voice and express themselves. Other people are helped, as well as I get to have the honor of empowering people, getting their shows out too, and sharing with others. So it's like a win-win-win-win-win-win-win for me.
That's it. And if well, we don't always realize at the time, but when we look back on the choices we've made in life and the different directions and interests that we've gathered, it's all paving the way for us going forward and the bigger picture. And we don't always see that, but the passion and how your path has developed and took your passion in the radio to then working on the radio to then running your own show or shows of the network. It's fascinating, and you can tell the passion when you're talking. And we're going to take a 10-minute break to let Alice come back on. And if everybody just hangs tight, we'll be back in 10 minutes and we'll bring Alice back on and we'll get chatting to Kelly some more. Is that okay, Kelly?
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Hang tight, everyone. We'll be back in 10.
Oh, I think I'm still live.